Dear friends and those who appreciate soul-nurturing cooking in the magnificent Azerbaijani nature, we greet all of you. Whenever my wife and I sit together to plan what to bring for the next episode, we always strive to make the cooking process wholesome and authentic in terms of the products and methods we introduce. So today, we are going to embark on a journey to forage a key ingredient: wild field mushrooms. The place where they grow is like a hidden gem that we discovered many years ago. Just imagine how wonderful they are when cooked, thanks to the healthy ecosystem they inhabit. Yes, field mushrooms are safe to eat, but there are some key, very important tips you must follow when it comes to edible field mushrooms. First, make sure to check their gills. White field mushrooms change their gills from pink to dark as they age, while toxic white mushrooms like the death cap or destroying angel maintain white gills throughout their life. The best time to forage field mushrooms is typically from late summer to autumn, usually after a rain shower when the ground is moist. You can see that these mushrooms have a smooth white to light brown appearance, which is a good sign. I always make sure to check the gills. They are of the right color. All this fuss, though, is only because we want to make it to the next episode. Bad joke, I know. Let's take a break and quench our thirst. Look at this amazingly transparent water with a zero contamination level. It can quench your thirst and satiate your hunger. You get used to walking long journeys through these bumpy paths, and the most rewarding thing is that over time, you learn to find places with edible berries and various plants. For instance, these hawthorn berries can be used in cooking or as a perfect addition to your tea. Before washing the mushrooms, we first need to soak them in water with flour, as this will help pick up dirt and debris by loosening them. Additionally, insects like slugs and small bugs can hide within the gills, so we need to get them out too. While my wife is busy cleaning the mushrooms, I'll try to put myself to use by prepping food for the horse. I've got some corn seeds and wheat. It's important to make sure he has a nutritious meal. He needs all the energy he can get, especially after a long day of grazing. As I mix the corn seeds with the wheat, I can see our horse eagerly awaiting his treat. He always gets a bit impatient, but I can't blame him. He knows he's in for something delicious.
Big.
Look at him. He's a bit suspicious. Let him check the food himself. Sometimes he likes to take his time, inspecting every morsel before diving in. It's a little amusing watching him snuff around, ensuring everything is up to his standards. The mushrooms are ready for the next step. Now, let's wash them thoroughly. I'll grab some clean water to rinse off any remaining dirt. Let's clean the skin of the mushrooms. This step is essential because removing the skin helps eliminate any residual dirt and ensures that we're left with only the clean, edible part of the mushroom. The texture and flavor are both so much better when we take the time to clean them properly. Meanwhile, I will continue feeding our cattle. They're always a joy to be around. As I brush the cow, I can't help but think about the importance of this task. It's not just about feeding them, Brushing helps keep the cow's coat healthy and free from dirt and parasites. Plus, it's a way to bond with the animal, ensuring she feels comfortable and cared for. This connection adds to the joy of farming. It's rewarding to see them thrive. Look at my wife as she preps the mushrooms, skillfully cutting them while I play with the dogs. I suppose I don't have too much to do today, huh? The dogs are having a great time running around, eager for some attention while I take a moment to enjoy this peaceful setting.
Santi, Santi. Hey, Bobby.
Now she pours some oil into a preheated pan, ready to saute the mushrooms. The sizzling sound already has my mouth watering. You can almost hear the excitement in the kitchen as the aroma begins to fill the air. As she slices the onions, I notice she's planning to roast them separately. This method allows the onions to caramelize beautifully, enhancing their natural sweetness. It also ensures the mushrooms retain their texture and flavor, which is crucial for this dish. Now that the mushrooms are perfectly stewed, let's prepare the onions. The moment I see her working, I feel the excitement building. As she roasts the onions, I can see she's aiming for a golden brown color, ensuring they don't become too crisp. The goal is to achieve a soft, sweet flavor that will complement the dish perfectly, adding depth to the overall taste. Besides, she's cooking the potatoes separately so that all ingredients can roast a bit, developing their flavors without becoming mushy. Each component deserves its moment to shine, and cooking them this way allows that to happen. Now she's dicing some fresh herbs, dill and parsley. The vibrant green adds a burst of color that makes the dish even more appealing. Okay, I'll give her a hand. She's going to add some pomegranate seeds for a sour kick, which will really elevate the dish. That tangy flavor will balance out the sweetness of the onions and the earthiness of the mushrooms. Now it's time to mix this up with the potatoes. The scent of roasted mushrooms, onions, and potatoes is absolutely delightful, filling the air with warmth and comfort. I can hardly wait to dig in. And of course, let's season it. A sprinkle of black pepper, a dash of turmeric, and a pinch of salt. It's important to balance the flavors just right to entice our taste buds without overpowering the dish. Each seasoning plays a vital role in bringing the flavors to life. Pomegranate seeds add a wonderful flavor contribution, bringing a sweet tart contrast that elevates the entire dish. They're like little jewels of flavor, making each bite exciting. As she mixes the red onions with the herbs, I can't help but notice that this will become a delightful appetizer for our dish. It will complement the food perfectly. The slight sweetness of the red onions paired with the aromatic herbs creates a refreshing contrast to the dish we've prepared. Let's serve this perfection and see it unfold in all its beauty. The smell is irresistible. Look at that juice glistening on the potatoes. It's hard to resist diving right in. Now, let's adorn it with some vibrant colors. The redness of the pomegranate seeds and the lush greens make this dish pop. It's a symphony of visual and taste perfection that truly represents the heart of our cooking. Well, my friend and I have done a great job by observing the chef at work. After such fruitful labor, we deserve a reward. There's nothing like sharing a meal created with love and care in this stunning setting. Let the feast begin. The greatest joy one can desire is to have loved ones to share good food with. You can almost feel the silent joy when people gather at the table to indulge in deliciousness. It becomes nearly impossible to stop this gastronomical delight, each bite bringing more smiles and laughter. It's important to mention that the red onions, pickled cabbage, and green onions make perfect appetizers. And one cannot forget about lavash bread. It complements our meal beautifully, adding a delightful texture that everyone loves to wrap around the savory bites. Now it's time to brew our teas with some hawthorn berries, just as promised. This combination offers a wonderful balance after a heavy meal. The slightly tart flavor of the hawthorn berries enhances the tea, providing a refreshing cleanse for our palates. It's a soothing way to wind down after our feast.
descanso. Cozinha mergando.
As we wrap up this delightful culinary journey, I want to express my gratitude for sharing this time with us. If you enjoyed our cooking adventure, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to us, and it inspires us to create more delicious moments together. Until next time, may your kitchens be filled with joy and warmth. Dear friends, welcome to our channel. Today, we're coming to you from a peaceful faraway village in Azerbaijan, surrounded by nature at its purest. We're excited to share with you a slice of Azerbaijani life, and of course, a taste of our authentic cuisine. For this episode, we're making something truly special, Azerbaijani baklava. This dessert has been passed down for generations, and it holds a deep cultural and traditional significance. So sit back, get comfy, and prepare to experience a dessert that's been cherished by Azerbaijani families for centuries. Azerbaijani baklava is made from layers of incredibly thin dough with a rich filling of finely chopped nuts. Typically, the filling is a blend of ground walnuts and hazelnuts mixed with a hint of sugar and cardamom for that warm, sweet aroma. And guess what? We're here today to gather our walnuts straight from this walnut tree. Here's the plan. I'm going to climb up this tree and give it a good shake until every last walnut comes tumbling down into this white sheet below, fresh and ready for our baklava. Hey, I see you've got your eye on the walnuts too, but sorry my friend, that hay over there is for you. Go enjoy your snack while we get to work. Let me tell you a little about the origins of Azerbaijani baklava. Traditionally, it's prepared during Nowruz, our New Year celebration, marking the end of spring. The addition of walnuts is believed to symbolize prosperity and abundance. It's a sweet treat that's not just delicious, but meaningful too. Growing up, I remember my grandmother always preparing baklava with walnuts she'd hand-picked herself, just like we're doing today. You've really got to be in good shape to handle tasks like this. Luckily, living in the village keeps you active without the need for any extra workouts. There's always something to do, whether it's gathering walnuts or working in the garden, so staying fit just becomes part of daily life. Now that we've collected the walnuts, it's time to sort through them, picking out the leaves and any spoiled ones. This is where the real work begins, but I find it quite satisfying. As I sort them, the smell of freshly collected walnuts fills the air, earthy, slightly sweet and nutty. My wife, smart as ever, is wearing gloves. Unlike me, she won't end up with that brownish stain on her hands. You know, when you clean or handle walnuts, the oils in their outer husks leave a stain on your fingertips. It's a natural dye. It doesn't wash off easily, and it'll linger for a while, but it's just part of the process. Of course, no matter how much work there is, we always make time for a little fun. These dogs, I love them to bits. They bring so much joy to life out here. Alright, time to get serious. My job now is to crack open all these walnuts and get the kernels out. Let's get to it. It's going to be a long process, but it's worth it for the baklava. Baklava dough should be incredibly soft and pliable. To achieve this perfect texture, my wife will add a mixture of melted butter and warm milk. This combination is essential. It enriches the dough, making it smooth and easy to work with. Next, my wife will prepare a mixture of sugar and yeast. This will slightly thicken the dough, creating a bread-like texture. The yeast plays a crucial role here, providing that delightful rise that will make our baklava layers fluffy and light. Now it's time to sift the flour. Never skip this step. Sifting helps to aerate the flour, making it lighter and fluffier. This results in a finer, more tender texture for our baklava, ensuring that every bite is a melt-in-your-mouth experience. I'm almost done cleaning the walnuts. Have you ever noticed that whenever you eat walnuts outside in the open air, they seem to taste even better? As we continue, she adds a sprinkle of turmeric to the mixture to give it a slightly orange hue. This not only adds color, but also imparts a subtle warmth to the flavor profile. Now she gently pours the melted butter mixed with warm milk into the flour. The aroma fills the kitchen. This is where the magic begins, transforming simple ingredients into a luxurious dough. Look at this color. It's a beautiful golden hue, a sign that we're on the right path. The dough is smooth and silky, a perfect canvas for the delicious layers to come. Now, my wife and I will finish cleaning the walnuts together. Working side by side will make this process much faster and more enjoyable.
어디야? 어디 가야 봐 그. 어디 마. 어디? 어디?
Meanwhile, let's preheat the oven to ensure it's nice and hot when our baklava is ready to go in. A well-heated oven is key to achieving that perfect golden brown finish that we all love. She's going to give the walnuts a quick roast now. This step will intensify their flavor, releasing their natural oils and creating a wonderful aroma. It's the little touches that make all the difference. She will roast these walnuts in small batches, ensuring that each one gets that perfect roasting touch. It's essential to roast them evenly to enhance their flavor and aroma, making them the perfect complement to the sweet. After roasting, we'll let them cool down a bit before we mince them using a manual kitchen grinder. The slow manual grinding process gives the walnuts a finer texture, which will blend seamlessly with the sugar for the filling. The preparation of baklava is often a communal activity, especially during festivals like Nowruz in Azerbaijan. If you ever visit during this time, you'll witness the lively atmosphere surrounding this tradition. Each family member plays a specific role. Someone is shelling walnuts, another is grinding them, and someone else is carefully roasting them. The key figure, usually the mother, grandmother, or aunt, brings it all together. Once the baklava is cooked, it's time to cover it with syrup. This step gives it that beautiful, glistening glow that makes it so irresistible. My wife likes to add lemon slices to the syrup. giving it a slight citrusy kick that balances the richness of the nuts and butter. Now it's time to prepare the filling, and the process is quite simple but vital to the flavor. We'll add an equal portion of sugar to the minced walnuts. This mixture will form the sweet, nutty heart of our baklava, and when baked, it becomes soft and slightly caramelized. Now, you're going to witness the art of shaping the dough for baklava. It's more than just a culinary technique. It's an art form passed down through generations. Look at how my wife's hands move with skill and precision, gently playing with the dough. As she rolls out the dough, she ensures that it's thin enough to be delicate but still flexible enough to hold together. This balance is crucial. Too thick and it'll be chewy, too thin and it'll tear. Now comes one of the most important steps, applying lots of melted butter to the tray and brushing each layer of dough. This is what makes the baklava so soft, buttery, and melt in your mouth. After brushing each layer generously with the melted butter, we add a hearty amount of the walnut and sugar filling. It's essential to spread it evenly so every bite of baklava has that perfect balance of crunchy, sweet, and nutty flavors. Once the filling is in place, we carefully lay the next sheet of dough over it, adjusting it at the edges and pressing down firmly to stick it on the sides. This creates a neat seal, ensuring the layers will bake perfectly without the filling spilling out.
Başla.
Our viewers come from diverse countries, each with its own rich culture, history, and cuisine. So I'm curious, what's the hallmark dish of your traditional cuisine that has been cherished across generations? Drop a comment and share with us. Let's celebrate the beauty of our cultural heritage through food. In Azerbaijani tradition, baklava is always cut into a diamond shape before baking, and this shape holds deep symbolic meaning. The diamond represents the fire element, which is central to the Nowruz celebration. Fire symbolizes purification, renewal, and the welcoming of spring. Just as we jump over fires during Nowruz to cleanse ourselves for the new year, this symbolism is reflected in our food as well, with the diamond-shaped baklava marking the connection to fire, renewal, and the continuity of life. Now we brush the baklava with egg yolks to give it that golden glow when it bakes. The sheen from the egg wash adds to its visual appeal, making the top layer gleam like a jewel. And here comes the most satisfying part of making baklava, placing a half walnut in the center of each diamond. It's a final touch that makes each piece unique. Alright, time to send the baklava on its last trip into the oven. The smell of the melting butter, the roasted walnuts, and the slightly sweet dough is going to fill the house soon, creating an irresistible aroma. Meanwhile, let's brew some tea with rosebuds. This delicate floral tea is the perfect companion to our rich, sweet baklava. It's a classic pairing, especially in Azerbaijan, where tea is always present at the table. The baklava is ready. It's a sentimental moment for me. I enjoyed the process so much that seeing the final result fills me with pride. The sight of the golden glistening baklava gives me a thrill deep in my soul, reminding me of my heritage and the traditions passed down through generations. Time to pour the syrup. The smell is not just mouth-watering, it's almost intoxicating. The joy we feel is undeniable, and we can't hide our smiles. Baklava is a sweet delight that brings so much happiness to the table. I hope, my friends, that you enjoyed this episode and that we filled your hearts with love, reminding you of the beauty of traditional cuisine. See you later, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Hello and welcome, my dear friends and fellow food lovers. Today, I'm greeting you from my garden, where the ripened pomegranates are filling the air with their sweet and slightly tangy fragrance. But I'm not just here to pick pomegranates. I'm getting ready for something special. Today's magnificent recipe. And yes, pomegranate is the star of the show. So get comfortable and watch as we pair tender, perfectly cooked fish with a sweet sour pomegranate sauce that will bring all the flavors together in the most delightful way. You won't want to miss this. Look at these large, perfectly ripened pomegranates. They're practically bursting open from how sweet and juicy they are. I'm carefully selecting the ripest ones because they're the sweetest, and I want to make sure this dish is packed with flavor. For all time, fish is always paired perfectly with sauces like pomegranate, as the tangy sourness beautifully balances the rich and intense flavors of the fish.
Hemşinin neden dadını sıkıydı? Yarmış hanım. Hazır atın hanımanına var. Ma. Dadını sıkıydı geçen.
I can't resist tasting one. It's absolutely irresistible. Just look at that color. It's like holding a piece of ruby red sunshine. This is exactly what I was hoping for. With my basket full, I think it's time to head back and start cooking. These pomegranates are ready to shine in today's dish, and I can't wait to get started. Around here, pomegranates ripen in the late autumn. October to November is their peak. The weather in the village is perfect for it too. It's cool, but the sun is still warm enough to make harvesting enjoyable. The calm of the countryside, with its golden fields and the distant sounds of life, always makes this time of year feel magical to me. I've got 3 full baskets of sweet, ripe pomegranates. Now it's time to give them a good wash to get rid of any dust or dirt from the garden. I like to make sure everything is perfectly clean before I start cooking. It's all about the little details. We're washing them thoroughly now, making sure every bit of dust is gone. Here in Azerbaijan, we use pomegranates in so many ways. We make fresh juice, tangy sauces like narsharab, and even dry the seeds for tea or desserts. This fruit is woven into our food culture, and we love how versatile it is. Now it's time to clean the pomegranates. When it comes to getting the seeds out, we've got a little trick. Make a cut at the bottom and tap the fruit a few times. The seeds come out easily with just a few taps. Look at them spilling into the bowl. So beautiful.
Sanki pala.
To avoid staining your hands with the pomegranate juice, you'd better wear gloves. It can be really tough to wash off. Now that I've got the seeds ready, it's time to toss them into the bucket and give them a gentle smash. I want to extract all that wonderful juice. Okay, now let's place the pot onto the fire. We need to boil the pomegranate juice to get the full depth of flavor from it. This step is key to making sure we get that rich, tangy essence. As it was mentioned earlier, one of the main ways we use pomegranate in Azerbaijani cuisine is by making a tangy and delicious sauce, narsharab, perfect for pairing with fish. And today, that's exactly what we're going to prepare. While the juice boils, I take a break to make tea. You know, pomegranate has always been one of my favorite fruits ever since I was a child. The taste instantly takes me back to those days when my hands, all the way to my elbows, would be covered in pomegranate juice, and my face would be stained red from digging into the fruit with no care in the world. There's something about the sweetness and tartness of it that brings back those carefree moments every time.
Yes, it's
There's nothing better than a cup of tea with white cherry jam, sweet and delicate. It's these simple moments that make life in the village so special. How do you relax and spend time at your ease? The pomegranate has cooled down, so now it's time to drain the juice from it. I like doing this part with my hands, rubbing the seeds against the sieve. There's something satisfying about feeling the juice trickle down, knowing it will soon turn into a rich sauce. Now we'll boil the juice once again to thicken it, making it gooey and rich. This will be the perfect sauce for the fish we're preparing today. Now onto the carp. I've chosen this fish specifically because of its flavor. It pairs wonderfully with pomegranate. I start by cutting off the tail, fins, and head, then slice the fish into thick pieces. Each slice is needed to be carefully seasoned on one side with salt, pepper, and paprika, and then I flip them over and do the same on the other side. We want every bite to burst with flavor. Okay, we're done with this step. Meanwhile, the sauce is turning into that perfect thick condition we are aiming for. There's never too much pomegranate, so let's make some juice as well. Pomegranate juice is known for its incredible health benefits. It's full of antioxidants, great for heart health, and even helps digestion. It's not just tasty, it's good for you too. So get yourself a cup of fresh pomegranate juice. My wife is now taking the pomegranate juice boiled down into that thick, syrupy goodness, and she's carefully pouring it into jars. We always make enough to last through winter. There's nothing better than opening up a jar of this in the colder months and reliving the flavors of autumn. Of course, we'll save some for today's meal, but the rest will be stored away for those chilly nights when a bit of summer sunshine is needed in the kitchen. That's enough. Our jars are full, and now it's time to cook the fish. First, let's pour some oil into the preheated pan. Always remember that preheating is important because it ensures an even roast and that perfect crispy layer on the outside of the fish. And plus, the fish won't stick to the pan. We're dredging the fish in flour before frying. This step adds a nice crispy texture to the outside, locking in the moisture and keeping the fish tender on the inside. We've got visitors in the yard, but this fish isn't for them. Go and get some grass for yourself. There is plenty of it all around. The fish is ready. Let's plate it with some fresh salad leaves to add a bit of freshness and color. Now I'm squeezing pomegranate juice over some onions to serve alongside the fish. In Azerbaijan, it's common to pair fish with onions and pomegranate juice for that sweet sour kick. It really elevates the dish. Let's drizzle some more pomegranate juice over the fish and start our meal. A piece of perfectly cooked fish topped with those onions and of course our homemade pomegranate sauce. It's a match made in heaven. The richness of the sauce cuts through the fish's delicate texture, a perfect dinner for this autumn weather.
Сырная она была.
And with that, dear friends, our meal is complete. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on another cooking adventure with us. See you next time. Hello, dear friends. I'm so happy to have you with us today. Something really unique and probably surprising is coming your way in today's episode. Before we dive in, tell me, what's your favorite kind of pickle? Drop a comment. Today, we're going to make pickles, but with a special ingredient, chicken eggs. Yes, pickled eggs are quite popular and esteemed around the world, and we're going to show you how to make them in our own way. If you've ever tasted pickled eggs, you know that they have that tangy, tart taste that lingers on your tongue. They've got a bite that's reminiscent of pickles or sauerkraut. The trick is that whatever you put in the jar will seep into the eggs, enriching them with a palette of various flavors. We've got dozens of eggs to work with today, which means we're going to make lots of these delicious pickled eggs. After just a week, you can open the jar and have a taste. You'll be surprised how the creamy yolk balances out that tangy flavor, making for a delicious snack. Here's a quick tip. Adding salt to the boiling water when cooking your eggs helps to firm up the egg whites a little, which makes peeling them so much easier, especially when the eggs are fresh, like the ones we're using today. These fresh green onions will pair beautifully with our pickled eggs and vegetables, adding a slightly peppery and pungent flavor that complements the tangy pickles. Pickled peppers are a must in any preservation process. They add a subtle sweetness to the mix and balance out the flavors. And of course, we can't forget the hot green peppers. They'll bring that extra kick. Did you know that preservation and pickling methods have ancient roots? Across many cultures, people used preservation to ensure they had food during colder months when fresh produce was scarce. This method of survival reached our days, but luckily as the delicious treat. The eggs are perfectly cooked. Now, let's get them out. Now it's my turn to roll up my sleeves and get to work. I'll peel these eggs one by one. It's a bit tedious, but trust me, it's worth the effort. Well, and this also is a good way to exercise my patience. Who said you can't taste while working? These fresh eggs are just too tempting. They're so delicious.
Zynel kardık ve o da primesi.
As my wife continues cutting the vegetables, beetroots, onions, and carrots, I'd like to tell you how we eat pickles here in Azerbaijan. In Azerbaijan, we have a deep appreciation for pickled cabbage mixed with beetroots and herbs. It's a staple in our meals, especially when served with pilav or other dishes rich in flavor. Let's give everything a good wash to make sure it's clean and ready to be packed into our jars. Now it's time to assemble the jars. First, we add garlic and ginger at the bottom, followed by a few black peppercorns, red onions, boiled eggs, and carrots. I think it's time to treat the dogs to some eggs. Did you know eggs are actually great for dogs? They're a good source of protein and help keep their coats shiny and healthy. Now, let's add the beetroots, green onions, and another layer of eggs. We'll finish off with some peppers and a spoonful of salt for each jar. Then we pour in hot water and a spoonful of vinegar. Using hot water and vinegar helps to preserve the contents by killing bacteria and ensuring everything is sealed tight. The vinegar adds acidity, which not only gives the eggs their tang, but also helps with long-term preservation. Before we place the jars in the big pot of boiling water for processing, we'll line the bottom of the pot with a cloth. This protects the jars from direct contact with the hot bottom, reducing the risk of cracking. Boiling the jars is essential for preservation. It creates a vacuum seal, ensuring the pickles can last for months without spoiling. The hard work is behind us now. Let's take a break and brew some tea with Tipton weed. This herb is known for its mood-boosting properties and has anti-inflammatory benefits as well. A perfect way to relax after a day of work. Homemade preserves are one of the best ways to keep some delicious, savory treats for the colder months. And when you make them with enthusiasm and creativity, like adding something new each time, it becomes even more special. What could be better than this? How do you like to spend your time after a hard day of work? Let me know. Our jars are out of the pot now. They're perfectly sealed and look incredible. Let's put the jars in storage where they'll rest and pickle over the next week. And that's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video so we can continue sharing moments like this in the future. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to bringing you more delicious recipes and memories. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Greetings, everyone. My wife and I are beyond excited because tonight we're preparing one of our favorite dishes, a beautiful turkey for dinner. It's a real treat, and we're thrilled to share the process with you all. Turkey is known around the world for its lean and mild flavor. While it may taste a bit subtler than chicken, when properly marinated and seasoned, it truly shines, offering a rich, complex flavor profile. Before my wife gets to washing it thoroughly, I've given the turkey a quick torching to char the skin a bit. This little trick adds a subtle smoky touch that deepens the flavor and also gets rid of impurities. Turkey is such a versatile meat. You can roast it, smoke it, grill it, or even stew it with vegetables. Today, though, we're going classic and roasting it in the oven, but with a little trick to elevate the flavor. My wife is trimming the legs and parts of the wings to give the bird a clean and presentable shape. Any scraps don't go to waste around here. Our dogs get a treat whenever we cook, and they're just as excited as we are. To infuse extra flavor, we'll stuff the turkey with a mix of onions and spices. This simple trick adds an umami boost, seeping into the meat and bringing out rich, savory layers in each bite. We're using salt, turmeric, pepper, corn oil, and a squeeze of lemon juice. The salt and pepper are going to bring out the natural flavors, while turmeric adds warmth and that bright yellow color, and the lemon juice will balance everything with a hint of acidity and freshness. Next, we're poking the turkey all over. This helps the flavors from the spices and stuffing penetrate deep into the meat as it cooks. Plus, we'll make sure that the turkey cooks evenly. Of course, my wife ensures that every inch of the turkey is evenly seasoned. This is key to achieving consistent flavor throughout every bite. She's stuffing the turkey with onions and giving the outer skin a brush of mayonnaise. The mayo will help create a beautiful golden crispy skin during roasting, sealing in moisture while adding flavor. Now we're wrapping it in baking paper, followed by aluminum foil to lock in the juices as it bakes. Into the preheated oven it goes, where it will roast for a couple of hours. We'll check back soon. While we wait, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel for more comforting and inspiring cooking videos. Instead of our usual tea, today my wife is craving a strong Turkish-style coffee. What I love most about this brewing style is the rich golden brown half-moon of foam framing the cup. It's so inviting. And of course the smell, so rich and earthy. Coffee is as cherished as tea here in Azerbaijan, and brewing it in the Turkish style adds a nostalgic, authentic touch. Together, in peaceful silence, we stand with our warm cups, looking out at the vast nature around us. These moments fill my heart with strength, joy, and love. It's our way of pausing for a bit, allowing ourselves to recharge and gather inspiration from the beauty surrounding us.
Bıçı. Ele kanında. Şirek mi var çocuklar?
Our turkey wouldn't be complete without a side. My wife suggested we cook rice with green peas. This rice will have a softer, creamier texture rather than the fluffiness we aim for in traditional Azerbaijani rice. She's thoroughly rinsing the rice, washing away excess starch to help achieve that smooth, creamy finish. The rice will need about 20 to 25 minutes to reach that ideal soft, creamy texture. My wife is going to add saffron to the rice, but first she dissolves it in warm water. This releases its vibrant color and floral aroma, making it a beautiful, fragrant addition to our dish. Once the rice is parboiled, she drains the water, adds butter, peas, and a touch more saffron. Returning it to the pot allows the flavors to meld together, creating a rich, creamy side dish. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so that you're always updated whenever we've got something new to show. Time to check on the turkey. It still needs more cooking, but we'll remove some of the wrapping so the skin can roast to a perfect golden crisp. I think our turkey is finally done. Just look at that beautifully crispy skin, with juices and melted fat mingling together to create a succulent feast. The rice has the perfect texture to shape into small molds, almost like little rice pies. A beautiful way to serve it. It's time to start our grand dinner. Tonight, we don't need knives. We'll feel the food with our hands, savoring each bite up close. taste of this baked turkey is incredible. The skin is perfectly crispy with a subtle smokiness, while the tender meat, infused with the aroma of onions, has a deep savory richness.
Thank you.
A dinner like this is so hearty that it'll keep us satisfied all day. I'm grateful for each of you watching and hope you're enjoying this experience with us.
Ja,
Please subscribe and like the video to show your support. See you next time.